What it is, what it do, ZCCCrew, it's your boy ZaddyChunkChunk, and we are back again with another banger for you guys today. What kind of banger this? It's a mukbang. Bang! Today I have
Nate the Great in the house, man in the house, y'all.
Yes, I have my dad in the building, and today we are doing a mukbang. I have the salmon, some broccoli, and my dad is doing his healthy meal.
Yeah, I got my healthy
We
meal,
both
y'all.
on our health, well, I'm on a health kit for health reasons. You two on it just to lose weight.
Yeah, I'm just toning down, you know. It's working too. It's working too. We'll talk about that.
But let's go ahead and get a prayer, you guys. Father God, I want to thank you for this food that we're about to receive in our body. And God, I ask that you do please bless this food. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, all right. I forgot to add my fork. He has to hurry up and I forgot to grab the fork.
So I'm intermittent fasting. I gotta have my food done in the next 9 minutes, which ain't gonna be a problem. But I'm about to max. So we'll chop it up in a little bit.
I made the salmon myself, you guys. I watched a little quick YouTube video on how to make it. Tastes like salmon. I wish I would have made a sauce for it though. You ever be cooking? Do you ever grilled salmon?
Grilled, smoked.
I want to try grilled salmon. All I did was use extra virgin olive oil, minced garlic. That seasoned it up with all types like cayenne pepper, black pepper, turmeric. I'm using a lot of turmeric lately. I even put turmeric in my veggies because it has so many benefits. And no, I didn't take the seasoning off the bottom. I mean, I didn't take the scales off the bottom.
The skin, you mean?
But that's how you know it's cooked well, though, if it comes off easily. That's one sign it says it's cooked.
You like it?
I like salmon.
No, I mean like how it came out.
Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy? I like a lot of healthy foods. It's just, I feel like there's really not that many options when it comes to healthy foods.
What do you mean? There's plenty of options.
Tell me more
You
than
know
you
my
eat.
healthy meats?
Well, I think for especially what I'm doing is just with cholesterol. I can't even have red meat like that. You know?
Yeah, so you got chicken and fish.
Chicken and fish. That's all I can eat.
Yeah. Veggies though. Veggies is good.
Yeah, no. But
Coming from somebody that was vegan for almost 2 years, you can do it.
that's crazy you did for 2 years.
Yeah, it was like a little bit over a year and a half, I think. Never thought I could not eat meat, but you get used to it pretty fast. And there's some good vegan food too out there. Travel places, go places, and just to go to their restaurants and find things because we don't have a lot of vegan options here.
Were you doing that, a lot of them vegan burgers and stuff? Like vegan meats?
Yeah, we did some vegan meats, but
Oh, mine
not
was
too
vegan
much.
too?
Yeah. It's so weird because
Were you guys pescatarians though? Were you still doing?
we did vegan, and then we did first we did the juice fast, then we went vegan, and then we went pescatarian.
Yeah, I've been eating a lot of broccoli too. Because broccoli is high in fiber. And fiber is really good with unclogging.
Oh yeah, yeah. You been working out?
But y'all treadmill is different. So their treadmill bounces, and it makes me feel like I'm about to fall when I run. I'm used to treadmills that are, you know, that don't have no bounce to it. But they said, oh, that's an expensive version.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it when it no
It's
bounce.
less impact on your joints. Once you get used to that bounce, and you go back to running on the ones that's stationary, oh, you're gonna notice it. Your joints, your knees, you gonna notice it.
Well, the thing is, my knee is hurting right now, my left knee. And it's like I wake up when I'm not using it, it wakes up at the maximum pain. Then once I start walking around and stuff, then it goes away.
That's weird.
It's my left knee.
That's probably because you were favoring it more when you was running.
Well, I really did an incline. I did an incline for 30 minutes at 12 with a speed of 3.
That's how the only thing I can think of is that's how it would be too. Like if you work out, your muscle soreness is gonna be bad in the morning because you've been, you know. But when you start walking on it, it actually pumps blood to that area, and that's what alleviates some of that pain, that soreness. It's like if you work out 5 days a week and you don't give a break between, and you find yourself working that same muscle group, like on day 3, and you worked it on day 1,
yeah,
you're gonna be in pain. But as soon as you start working out, it pumps blood to that area, starts repairing that muscle, and you feel less pain. So I think it's the same as when you start walking.
These are broccoli. Came with a lot of stalk, not a lot of the greeny part. That's the best part.
Oh yeah.
So what was your favorite meal when you was eating when you was a vegetarian?
Man. One of my favorites. Your mom was making these avocado toasts. Oh man.
Avocado's really good too.
So much stuff on that toast, man.
I've been doing a lot
like these veggie sandwiches. And she would make it so thick with just veggies. And a balsamic glaze on it. Toasted bun. Toasted bread. So good. And you know, body types are different. Like her diet and her style of diet, what works for her body is the opposite of mine. Like, she don't do good with carbs.
Yeah.
So she gained weight being a vegan and lost weight when she went back to her normal diet.
That's crazy.
And I never gained anything when I was vegan. I gained weight when I went back to my normal diet.
Well, I'm glad I at least like these kinds of foods and not against them, because all it really takes is for it to be seasoned, and seasons don't be doing nothing. I actually use them like salt and stuff.
You got to use some Cajun seasoning or blacken it or something. Blacken it to be real good. Cajun to be good.
Cajun sounds good with this. But what's been going on with the family business?
You got 2 minutes.
Why? What, to finish your food?
I'm gonna finish my food by 6, y'all.
If you're a minute over, will that be bad?
No, it's a mind thing. Family business.
Well, because the thing is, since I've been here, you're literally gone all day. You go to work at what, like 7, 8?
I get there about usually about 8. Between 8 and 9 I get there.
And I don't see you at the crib until like 7, 5 to 7.
I work. So some of y'all know we've been doing these TikTok lives and all that stuff, and there's just a lot to it. As we ramp up, and I'm doing my other work with the sauce business, so it's like having to need 2 me's. I ain't got 2 me's. Which?
You said 2 minions?
2 me's.
Oh.
2 of me.
Okay.
This brings me to my next point, which is I want to know how you're gonna carry on this business, because
well, the thing is I'm all the way in Vegas, and I know Darius is learning, because Darius was, when he was living in Ohio, he was helping a lot out, and he learned a lot about it. But I feel like, you know, since you guys started this YouTube stuff, it's only been a year. You know, since you guys started YouTube, we only lived in the same city for the Ohio years, like a year and a half, and then the rest of the time I've been gone in different states. So it's like, it's hard to learn, obviously, while I'm gone.
Well, When did you leave in Wisconsin?
We left at the same time.
No, I mean,
what?
We started in 2017.
Yeah.
You started in 2018. And you were still there
but
for that year.
I was living in Appleton. And then I moved to Milwaukee and literally left Milwaukee within like 4 months.
Yeah, we are.
And I remember too, I called you guys and I was like, hey, we was gonna do a clout house with Vaughn and Nair, and that's why I met Nair and Marlo and all them.
I remember that you went to Houston.
And then you guys said, no, and then you guys said, well, we just got news that my job wants to transfer me to Ohio.
Yep.
And then that's when we went our separate ways. I went to Houston, then I came back, only stayed in Ohio for a year and a half. And then I went back to Houston and been gone since.
Yeah, so you really haven't had a chance to be a part of the foundations of the business and watch it grow and all these things that we've done over the last really 7 years. But I think from the Sparks of Life perspective, the last 5 years. Yeah. So you know that I guess going forward, you really have to insert yourself, right? If you want to be part of the business and to carry on the legacy of the business, you really gonna have to insert yourself in the business process and put in work, and that work is gonna be additional to what you have to do to make your own money. Obviously, with working in the business, there's financial gain from that, but aside from that, it's a family business. So whatever is left over when your mom and I are gone, that's going to you guys. So you really have to.
What are you expecting? How do you expect me and Darius to keep this thing afloat? What are the
number one thing I would say is as far as the business goes, is really to stay prayerful about the moves you make with the business. Definitely, that's number one. Stay prayerful, and then always have a way to get access to wise advice. You're not gonna know everything in the business. Yeah. You're not gonna know. Even you go to business school, there's people. That's the reason why there's so many segments of business. Is because there's so many aspects and levels of expertise in the business realm that you're not gonna know. So my expectation for you guys is when you don't know, don't just make decisions. Just seek out some wise counsel and try to figure out what's going to be the best way for you to move the business forward. Because I don't want you thinking about how the business is going to affect you. Because that's not how we're thinking. We're thinking about how we can have the business be around, successful, and generating wealth for you and Darius, but then beyond that to your kids. So that's what I want, is always keep in mind 2 to 3 generations down. What things that I can do right now are going to put us in the best position to ensure that 2 to 3 generations of this family are going to remain in a good state of wealth.
Let me ask you this. What age did you start doing things to now secure generational wealth? What age do you recommend? Obviously, you probably recommend at the youngest of age of 20, 21.
Yeah, but you just don't know a lot at that age. I mean, there are people who do. Like if you go off to college and you major in finance or you major in business and you come out of college and you get a good internship and land yourself at a financial institution where you can really learn and gain a good financial and business acumen, I think you can start at a much younger age. I always tell people who haven't decided whether they're gonna what they're gonna major in college. If you major in whatever it is that is your passion, but minor in business, always, because at some point your passion may turn into your business, and you're gonna need to know how to do that. But in terms of age, I think going to college and then going to get my master's degree, I think I was 26. I was 26 when I got my master's degree, and I was taking finance classes and stuff as a part of the business degree. And it started clicking. it was at 26 that it started clicking. And then I realized how behind I was. Because in terms of building wealth and in terms of like, you know, trying to build a legacy, like you really need to start. For young people that are listening, y'all really need to start at like 18, 19, 20. You may not have a lot to invest, but you need to start investing what you have. Don't buy things that depreciate. Yeah. Buy things that go up in value, that appreciate. So...
And one thing too, I see, like for one of my last barbershop in Houston, one of my homies, he was having a baby, and he just got a life insurance policy for his baby.
Very good.
Right before, even before the baby was born, well, like when the baby was being obviously in the stomach and stuff, and I didn't even know much about that. Like he did a lot of research, and he's like, yeah, so if anything would happen to me, his baby would get, I don't know, if it was like $1 million or it could have been more or whatever. But he took out a life insurance policy right away. Is that something you recommend too?
Yeah. So building wealth, I've done it both ways. But I think one of the best ways to create, you know, like your own bank, right? They talk about it like that in terms of having your own bank, is to have a whole life insurance policy that you are investing in on a monthly or annual basis. Typically it's monthly through premiums, and what that's doing is it's generating cash value, number one, and it's also giving you a lifelong benefit that you will have to pass on to your kids when you die. So in terms of like wealth generation, that's a major tool that a lot of wealthy people use to put away money, because number one, let's say, for example, you got a whole life insurance policy that builds a cash value of, let's say, $500,000 over the course of typically about 7 years, right? Depending what your premiums are. But let's say that's what it is, and you let's say that policy has $1.2 million payout at your death, right? The best thing about that is, number one, you've locked in your life insurance for your whole life, as long as you can maintain the premiums. Number two, and probably the best thing about it is you don't have to go to the bank to get money. That money is in the policy. It's generating cash wealth. So right over that 7-year period, you gain $500,000. It's sitting there. When you borrow it, you're paying it back to yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was watching some finance YouTube video channels that were saying people should borrow from their own policies.
Definitely. I would definitely recommend borrow from your own policy. But just to answer your question about, you know, just generating wealth and thinking about the family legacy, that's something that your mom and I've really started thinking about in the last, I would say, since the whole thing with YouTube popped off, because we found ourselves in a position where we had so much money that we really started having to think about, okay, it afforded us the ability to think about other things besides day-to-day bills, right? When you're in a position where like you working to pay your bills, and you definitely not thinking about long-term. You thinking about, I got to pay my bills this month, next month, you know, etc. But as a first step, if you just getting out there and you trying to like get involved and try to build some wealth, if you ain't got no emergency fund, you ain't building nothing. Yeah. You ain't building nothing, because any emergency could take out whatever it is that you're saving. All your plans will be all messed up because you had one emergency. So you really got to set yourself up with, you know, like 10 to 12 months of an emergency fund that covers all your bills. Like if you had to be off work for a year, you would be able to cover it. For most people, that in itself is a task. That right there. I mean, even when I was younger, I was like, I heard that again when I was in my mid-20s. I was like, how is that even possible?
That was in your mid-20s. Imagine this in the economy right now. How is that possible?
Yeah, no, it's rough out here right now.
I literally just with groceries, just bought some little groceries for this while I'm here. I spent like $70.
Oh yeah, and got nothing.
And had like 3 bags. And I'm like, if I want to care about my health, this is how much it costs? That's crazy.
Listen, I think that, well, I think a lot of things when it comes to that stuff, but obviously, you know, when it comes to like policies and things, you can literally see policy in place when you go to the grocery store. You can see what's happened to us over the last 4 years, and it just really is like, how's that possible? Like your money don't go as far as it used to go. It's just there's a lot of excuses for why, but I'm just saying like it's just not the same. Not to get off on into that, but going back to the wealth topic and what I'm expecting from y'all. I talked about, you know, keeping God first and praying about things and then surrounding yourself with wise advisors. And I think the third thing is, man, you're gonna have to come with that work ethic. It's gonna have to double and triple and quadruple. Like whatever hours you spending right now, you gotta times that by like 4 or 5. Honestly, I mean, that's just. I think that's one of the reasons why your mom and I click so well, because we are just workers. We work. We work hard and then we play hard. We have our times. We go on vacations. We do all those things. But when it's time to work, we have no problems with it. Like we will work and work and work and work and work because stuff needs to get done. And so that's really the third expectation. Is to really triple that work ethic.
Are you gonna leave a manual book like this is?
I got manuals already on how to run the business. It's one of the things in my like. So if you running a business and you don't have some sort of succession planning, you don't have anything, policies and procedures in place for somebody to come in and be able to operate the business in your absence, then you behind the curve. But that does not take the place of experience doing the jobs, you know, actually being there. You can't just come in cold and be like, oh yeah, I know how to do this because I got a manual. Stuff ain't gonna work. So if you want to be a part of that piece of the puzzle, you really gotta be able to do what you have to do to make your life run in terms of like, you know, whatever your current career is. You got to be able to do all that and offer, here, I got X amount of hours to do this. For the business, you know. And the biggest thing.
Well, it seems like the business is a full-time job. How long you be gone?
The business is a full-time job now because we're doing multiple things, right? So we were just doing the YouTube, and then we had the sauce business. Now we're doing the YouTube, got the sauce business. We have new products coming, special things that are coming out, and then we also doing the whole TikTok shop and the TikTok shoppable video things, and all of these things are adding to the workload. Bless you. So that's really what you see with the extra work. I'm maintaining the warehouse, and then trying to build all these things. Bless you. So we're like building new studios to do different types of shows. I mean, if you saw her live events on TikTok, you would see the new studio that we built. We built that in like a week. Yeah, it took like a week to build all of that stuff. So that's me there building everything. And I'm building another studio for a live cooking show. It's just so much stuff coming, y'all, that y'all really just don't know. So that's what keeps me so busy. And that's why I say, well, if you want to do all that, you gotta your work ethic. It's got to be on 2 million.
How long do you think it'll take? Let's say if we started a training session, obviously reasonable hours, doing like 5 hours a day or something. How long do you think it'll take for the average person to learn this full business? Like a couple months, a month of training?
No, it's gonna take longer than that because there's so many different aspects of the business. It's gonna take you 3 months just to get used to shipping and shipping protocols, and that's not including inventory management. That's not including the whole part of the business that I do, which is the actual business part, the accounting and all those things. There's all that stuff. That you don't just learn that. You don't just learn bookkeeping and accounting in a month, in 2 months. That's something that I don't know. It's just something that most people go to school for to learn, and that's where you really have to think about is, okay, well, where can I invest in myself in order to make sure that the product that shows up for the business is the best thing for the business. What I mean by the product, I mean you. You are the product. So you have to invest in yourself to a point where when you step into the business, you bring yourself as an asset to the business, not as a detractor, not as something that's just going to take from the business, but you're bringing a skill set that is in high demand. Yeah. What is you allergic to?
I don't know. Probably got a pepper up one of those.
You got a pepper somewhere. But yeah, that's really what it is. So those 4 things I think are major, right? Keep God first and be praying about things. Surround yourself with successful people that can give you wise counsel. Your work ethic gonna have to be on, you know, 1 million, and then invest in yourself to make sure that what you bring into the table is something that's gonna be an asset to the business.
Yeah.
So I think those 4 things, just setting yourself up to be able to create more wealth, and then you guys got to be thinking on your feet.
Yeah.
You cannot stay stagnant. I mean, anything that you're gonna do in business, everybody that's in business that is in a successful business knows this. You cannot stay still. Your feet can never be in the sand when it comes to business. The climate and the environment of business is always changing. It's like the landscape is shifting all the time, whether it is through policies that come down from the government or is regulatory agencies, regulations. It's always shifting. And so you got to really be innovating. Yeah. You got to be innovative. You got to be thinking of what's the next thing that I can do? What's the name? You know, and then you got to make sure that you're set up from a capital perspective, like money.
Yeah.
You cannot eat your bread. For those of y'all that know what I'm talking about, you really, when you are spending your money on things that look good. Now everybody does it, right? You're gonna have something where you really want to treat yourself. All I'm saying is build yourself before you treat yourself. That's all. And then look at it like, okay, well, somebody say, well, you bought a very expensive car. I did buy a very expensive car. But let me tell y'all about this very expensive car. I barely drive it. I barely drive it. I've had it for going on 2 years now, and I want to say I have 1,300 miles on it.
Yeah. In
2 years, and the reason for that is because first off, it's a limited edition vehicle. They don't make it no more, and number 2, it's a huge investment.
Yeah.
And something that I can sell if I needed to, because I'm keeping the miles low on purpose. I'm literally looking at it as, okay, this is an investment. This is like buying a piece of art. You know what I'm saying? And then hanging it on your wall for 5-10 years and then turn it around and say, okay, well, if I needed to, I could sell that art.
Yeah.
That's how I'm thinking about this vehicle.
Yeah.
So you gotta always keep in mind, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna treat myself to something, but if I'm really gonna go out and spend a lot of money, first thing I should spend a lot of money on is a house, because it's mine, right? It's mine, and you know what? I take that back, y'all. I take that back. If you listening to me and you find yourself in a position where you got money to buy a house, buy a rental property first. The reason why I say that is because rental property, if you bought a rental property first, right? You bought side by side, you bought a, whatever, upstairs, downstairs, whatever. You buy a rental property first. When you go to buy your primary residence, your home, that rental property is not, as long as you have sound tenants in there that have a track history and you have long-term leases, that rental property is income to you and not debt.
Yeah.
If you buy a primary residence first, and then you want to go out and get into the real estate market, that primary residence is debt to you, because they know they know that if you're in a situation where you need to pay the mortgage on your rental property versus pay the mortgage on your home, like say, for example, you had to evict some tenants or something happened where you couldn't get paid rent on those homes, they know that you're going to pay your primary residence mortgage before you pay that rental property. Yeah. Banks look at that when they want to lend to you. So if you do it the other way around, that's cash flow that will help you get a bigger and better house and also become passive income to you. So I would just say you can do it either way. I just would prefer when you're younger just to, invest in some real estate. I wanted to do that. I had an offer to do that. Got married, found a house, and didn't do it. So I'm telling you.
Y'all still want to get into real estate?
It's happening, boy. It's happening. I just spent like 5 hours on a call, and all of it was real estate and taxes. Yeah. So,
all right. Well, obviously, there's a lot more to be talked about when it comes to this conversation.
Are you up for it?
Yeah.
Are you up for the challenge?
Well, obviously, I want to keep the family name alive.
Okay, let me ask you this. What things are you thinking about investing in yourself to be able to step in to the business and be a major contributor?
Further my education.
How so?
Just learning. Well, I feel like because the thing is because you say go get a business degree, but I'd rather learn firsthand and learn directly with you guys, like what's going on. Because I get a business degree and it's just gonna be general knowledge.
That's true to a certain extent. Obviously, with any degree that you get, it's gonna be general. And then when you get to the employer,
and then that's when
they're going to train you. They're going to train you. But when it comes to business, there are just things that you cannot just come in and feel like you're going to be able to do. Like, for example, like you may know how to run a business. You may know everything it is to know about the numbers and all of this stuff, and that may all make sense to you and might be clicking easy. But HR practices, knowing what you can and do and how you can hire and fire people, that whole situation can put your business in jeopardy. Yeah. Just not knowing how to escalate a firing, right? What are the steps to take to fire somebody? You know what I mean? Just those types of things can put your business in jeopardy. And you can't just learn that on the job. I mean, some things you can learn, but like stepping in, like say I'm gone. And you got to step in, like you don't have no basis for it. Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's why I say, if you're gonna do that, cool, but don't make moves without asking people who know.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I got Darius too. I mean, there's be a team effort making decisions and things of that sort. And I'm pretty sure by the time you guys like are gone and stuff, this business will be, you guys will have so many employees and things of that sort, and it'll be more than,
and there's gonna also be multiple or more businesses. Yeah, like and this is not gonna be, this is gonna be a conglomerate by the time we're gone. So you're gonna have to step in and like take over a conglomerate of businesses. Like it's not just gonna be this. It's going to be this, which is like the, let's say the sauce business, right? Then you got the whole influencer business. That, how you change that and still reap the benefit of that when she's gone, that's a whole thing you got to be thinking about. Okay, well, how can I maximize the branding after she's gone, right? And then run the sauce business. And I promise you, the whole real estate stuff, that's going to be like a whole nother animal. So like you talking about going to, you know, be an agent, which I think is your strongest suit. I tell you, I've been telling you that since you was a kid. Your strongest skill set is sales. It has always been. You have multiple sales jobs. I also think you thrive in an environment of competition. And so you just being that type of person, I think you would be happier doing something like that in the sales environment and really just figuring out, you know, okay, what's inside sales? What's outside sales? Like, how can I grow the brand, the business from a sales perspective? I think that if you invested in yourself and made sure that you have an open door as an opportunity in the business, but investing in yourself to make sure you got the skill set to just hit the ground running and be able to go into any marketplace and say, all right, what you need me to sell? Got it. Sit down, figure out the details, learn it all, because you've done it before. You're not afraid of calling people up out of nowhere and cold selling them on stuff. That's a skill. It's a major skill because everybody ain't got it. Yeah. So that's my thought, my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. I'm already knowing training is going to be a lot.
That's a lot.
One day, we got to get to it. But I appreciate you coming on the video. We ate our food quick because Dad had to rush to get his thing.
I had to get mine out by 6, and I've been on a call, and I'm literally recording the call right now. But yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can't find Dad in the background because I was gonna say where he can find you. You're in the background.
I ain't on nothing, and I'm always here.
You can find him on the Amazon reviews.
Yeah, I'm always here. Like you can find me. You can find me in the background now. Even on the Amazon stuff, I got people for that. So yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you don't find me a lot of places, but I'm in the background doing most of 99% of all the business aspects of what goes on here. So.
And guys, make sure you follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. All is ZaddyChunkChunk. That is ZaddyChunkChunk. But ZCCFamily, as we all know, the grind never stops until the ZCC gang is on top. Let's get it!